Well, hello guys, hello. Welcome back to the Big Fat Psychic channel. I'm so pleased to be reading again for you today. Okie dokie. So I've had a very busy but pleasant few days with the grandchildren. So, but I am glad to be back reading. But I tell you what, I did a YouTube detox. So I watched a lot less of it than I normally do, and I'm telling you now, I felt so much better. Do you know what? I think all social media is like a portal to the devil. It really is. Doesn't make you feel very good at all, does it? It's all doom and gloom. Anyway, so I will put a timestamp on this, okay? I'm just going to have a bit of a waffle about a couple of things. So basically, I made my cake, the sponge, on the Friday night, and I put it in the freezer, and I thought, right, I'll ice it the Saturday night, because it was a party on the Sunday. So, but I had all 4 grandchildren. They played in the pool all day, and we was having movie nights and snacks and treats and everything else. So they didn't go to fall asleep well about, I don't know, 9:30, 10 o'clock on the night. So, and I didn't want to ice my cake in front of the grandchildren. So, like I said, I put it in the freezer. Anyway, I pulled it out thinking everything was going to be all right. It was only going to take me half an hour. And basically, I put all the sponges together, and I went to do them like in a bit of a tower. Oh my God, worst thing I ever did. I iced it. I was real pleased. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to put it in the freezer, because I've got a deep freezer. And I'll just, let it cool a little bit. I wasn't going to leave it in there for hours. And I thought, right, I'll do some, and then I'll decorate it. Anyway, I went to pull it out the freezer, and the full lot collapsed. So do you know what I did? Do you know what I did? I tried. I used that much butter frosting trying to cover it all. It was just crumbling and falling apart. So in the end, at 11:30, I gave up, and I had to do a new sponge, okay? And I wasn't going to do it this time in a bloody tower. So I didn't panic. I didn't stress, really. I just knew I had to get the job done, and that was it. 2 o'clock in the morning I finished, okay? 2 o'clock in the morning, with baking it, making it, icing it again, and everything else. So here's a picture. Anyway, my grandson woke up in the morning, and the cake was in the box, so I let him see it. And he was like, guys, to his sister and his 2 cousins. Guys, come and have a look at my cake. It's a Sonic cake. And then he stood there and he's showing off. He's so proud, and he's like, the candle's got rings. So I don't know about Sonic or rings, but obviously there must be something there with rings. So anyway, he was like, bless him. This is the best day of my life, Nana. And I was like, bless him. Anyway, so yesterday, so he had his party, and then he came back again. So yesterday Monday, I was taking him, I took him to the park and stuff. But no, it must have been yesterday. I can't remember. Anyway, I had an appointment with my doctors. So, but I'd been waiting 6 weeks for this one, and I thought I need to go, so I couldn't cancel. Oh, it was Monday. That's right, because we was going to go to the park. Anyway, so I said, come on, we have to go. It was like 9 o'clock in the morning. I said, come on, we have to go. So he said, why are we going to doctors, Nana? So I said, Nana just needs to get checked out. Anyway, so we're walking down. We have like a snicket. So I don't know what you would think it is. It's like, I call it a snicket, I don't know, like a cut-through path, maybe. Anyway, so walking down. Now, we get a lot of dog walkers around here. So what I was teaching the 2 young uns was, you always have to ask the owner first if you can pat a dog or pet the dog, because you don't know if, they're scared or they don't like people. So anyway, so sees one straight away. So 2 little doggies. So they said, oh, can we pet the dog? So she said, yeah, they're fine. Anyway, he was petting the dogs, and she said to him, oh, are you off to the park? So he said, no, my nana's going to doctor, she needs to get checked out. Anyway, we just started laughing. I thought, out of the mouths of babes. So coming back on the, oh, they are funny. So coming back, I mean, there was stuff in the doctors that they did, but we ain't got all day. Anyway, we're coming back and they said, oh, Nana, we're going to the park now. So I said, no. I went, Nana has to go home and clean up your mess. You know, like breakfast pots, and they'd had a shower and everything, so the towels was on the floor. So I said, no, I have to go and clean up your mess. So he went, I hadn't made a mess. So I said, all right then, Nana's mess. Anyway, so again, through the snicket, bumps into a woman with another 2 dogs. Can I pet the dog? Yes, you can. Then she said to him, are you going to the park? Because we don't live far from a park. So he said, no, Nana's made a mess and she's got to clean it up. I thought I ain't got all day to explain to everybody. But anyway, yeah, so it was hilarious. Anyway, I'll stick a picture of their cake up. I don't know why, but like, I don't like to show off, you know, because I'm aware that people either can't bake, I'm only joking, but, you know, might not have grandchildren or might not have relationships like I do, or I don't want to make people feel bad. But anyway, a few of you have asked to see the cake, so I said, okay, here it is. Anyway, I will put a timestamp on that. Let's get into Clive Alderton. But I have to say as well, 4 days, and I've limited my social media. Well, it's YouTube. I don't do Facebook or X or anything. So I've limited it. And I can honestly say I felt a hell of a lot better. I really do believe that, you know, social media is like a portal to the devil. It really is. It does not make you feel better at all. It makes you feel scared, afraid, panicky, you know, like the future is not worth it. Should I be here? You know, it's just so hard. But focusing on your day-to-day life with your family and staying off it a lot more, you know, it really did help me. So maybe you want to take some of that as well. But yeah, I did feel more human again. Okay, so what is the truth about Clive Alderton? So, you know, he's been in charge for a long time. Obviously, he's done 20 years. He's actually in a strong position as well. So I think it's like quit while, yeah, you know, the going's good. But I also feel like he felt very strongly about things. Now, people are saying, oh, was it Harry? Did he quit over Harry? No, we're not going to ask that. We're going to ask, how did Clive Alderton feel about Harry? Because Alderton is spending a lot, you know, spent 20 years with the king, so he knows him in and out. He knows about Harry. He knows how the king feels. He knows about the king on his religious beliefs, you know. He knows everything. So how does Alderton feel about what reason did Clive Alderton give for stepping down? Well, you know, the monarchy is obviously going in a different direction. And I feel like he didn't want to be part of this, okay? He doesn't want to be part of this about going forward with the monarchy. How does Alderton feel about the king with his favoured religion? I knew they'd disagree. Yeah, definitely, look, you know, not happy there. And influenced as well by overseas. I think, you know, he would agree that the king has gone so far forward with his religions and choices that you can't renege or go back. It's not like it's a deal It's that it's just been increasing and increasingly obvious as days go by, and it's going to be again. So, you know, he wasn't unhappy or mad about it, but he knows the people don't like it. What was what is Clive Anderson afraid of with the king? Yeah, so King Charles obviously thinks things about him coming out are not going to be revealed. Well, I can tell you now, they are going to be revealed, and I know some of them already, but I'm going to do that in a different reading. This is about Clive and the Charlie boy. Not good luck, deception. Getting out while he can. Getting out while he can. The king's not listening to people, okay? Well, he's not listening to us, is he? And I'll also say, you know, the world's gone mad, and so has King Charles. But I'm not bothered about how the king and Harry are. I really couldn't give a flying pig's ear. Oh, that was good for me, wasn't it? No, I couldn't, because I'm looking forward to the king being exposed for stuff in his past. Is Clive Anderson afraid that stuff in the Charles' past is going to be revealed? Absolutely. Look at that. Oh, unspeakable acts and covert. So you've got covering up and you've got hiding things, and this is all about Charles not wanting to look bad. So does Clive Anderson believe that the king is compromised? Yes or no, universe? Won't turn the card. No, he doesn't believe he's compromised, which is even worse. How does the king feel about Mr. Clive Anderson stepping down? So it seems he's not just gone and walked, okay? Maybe he's still there and he's staying around for a bit. But also, as well, the king won't change his mind on something, you know. It's like looking how he's going forward with things and taking things forward. Stuff he's doing and going to do. Okay, let's have a look. How does Clive Anderson feel about Harry? That is damaging, you know. It's going to be damaging. You never know what's going to go on with Harry. You can't predict him, unless you're me. You can't predict him, and there's a lot of worry. And he's putting a lot of worry on the king as well, as a father. What did Clive Anderson... So did Clive Anderson step down because of Harry? No. So you got risk, calculated risks. So is a risk, you know, to be seen to be welcoming Harry. And I say to be seen because I'm not convinced, you know, all this Harry coming back return is what it seems, okay? I think that could be bureaucracy. It could be, you know, the outcome of something. It is not about the court case. It is about Harry being unreliable with the truth. Things not going well. And also needing a lawyer. And I'm seeing the police as well. You know, we know why Harry wants to come back. Everything failed, but it's not about the failures. because they thought it was a success. No, it's about his security. It's about his money. It's about his mail thing, court case. It's about the media, you know, going to go for him because the relationship has now turned. And these journalists who were reporting good things on Harry, especially Griffith, you know, one minute it's a pill in her mouth and the next minute, you know, she's writing supportive things about the royal family and Harry. So, you know, they're just prostitutes, really. They really are. That's all they are. Prostitutes and Sussex junkies. And that goes for all of them. So we're getting to, we're 2026 and we're getting 20 years. So that's 2006. "20 years, 2006. I'm going to say to you now, 20 years in a job isn't a long time. Now, you might think so if you've, you know, been from job to job. But I stayed in my job for 17 years and it just felt like it was yesterday. In fact, even now I feel like it passed so fast, you know. You just don't realise year number 9 comes up, year number 10 comes up, 11, and you just stop counting, you know. It's so that's the feeling that I'm getting from Clive Alderton, that it has passed very, very quickly. What is the state of, you know, what reason did he stand down for? So it's not about his health, it's not about his mind, it's not personal neither. It is, you know, attempts to bring down the monarchy, but it's actually King Charles who's doing that. Does Clive Alderton believe that the king is intentionally sabotaging his reign and the monarchy? Absolutely. Before I even turn the card, absolutely. You know, it's like he sees the king as not having a plan as such, but by doing all these things, you know, it's like, where does it end? What, you know, where does it end? You start somewhere and you don't see the fallout or the danger. How does Clive Alderton feel about William? That the king should be fair to William, which is not, obviously. That he should come out and tell the truth. So does what would Clive Alderton, I mean, he thinks he should just, you know, the king should abdicate, to be fair, and William in. Is that right? No. It's about Harry. No, it's not. No, it's not. Is this a man from the past? And shit is getting thrown out again? Absolutely. Okay, absolutely. But I will say as well, you know, Clive doesn't think, you know, William has been treated fairly at all. Now, I believe, okay, I believe in common sense. I know what makes sense and I know what looks shady. I know the differences. But if, you know, if Harry and Meghan's mission was to go over there to America to, you know, what is it? Interact? No, not interact. Cause trouble with elections. Well, it didn't work. And Trump's been in power for 2 or 3 years now, so they could have come home. I don't believe it's that, okay? The government sent, I don't know, was it 30 people to go and try and interfere with the elections as well? If you was going to do something like that, then you would be very coy about it. You would be not in everybody's faces. You know, Harry and Meghan couldn't wait to announce that they're on the Aspen Institute, that they're with this government, they're with that government. But it wasn't by association and what, you know, you'd think, oh, they're all over the place. No, it wasn't. They was only in there to get money. And if Harry wanted to come home and make up with his family, then he would. And he would have a long time ago. So what that tells me is it's Harry and Meghan who are very, very chaotic. Very chaotic. Now, I do like some, you know, of the channels where they talk about things, and I really appreciate it and I take it on board, and I'm not going against them. I'm just saying it as I see it, okay? You do not, if you want to shaft Trump, you don't have to go through all this and hurt the kids, Catherine and William, or bullying the staff and stuff, you know. It's Harry and Meghan that, you know, they're everything about chaos, okay? So that's my common sense about it. You know, they're just, they're insignificant. They are. I mean, even Oprah don't want to know now. And to be quite honest, I've had enough of them, I know. I just think, you know, that I know people don't vote and don't want to, but people say, oh, I don't want them to do this, I don't want them to do that. Well, stop freaking watching them. Stop freaking watching them. Let everything die down. Let's not have an interest. And if Harry and Meghan want to come back to their royal family, that's their business. We can't protect William. William has to protect himself, and that's it. You know, that's the bottom line. And we shouldn't be wanting to protect the king either, aside from what an evil git has been in the past. And I have done readings on him, and I'll be doing another one in the next 48 hours for his true colours. And yeah, you know, let him come back. Let him come back and cause thingy, you know, trouble and chaos. In fact, let them destroy their monarchy, okay? Because at the end of the day, you and me have got bigger fish to fry. We've got electric bills. We've got safety. We've got, you know, immigration. We've got laws and bills going through that are taking your money. You're getting a 10% death tax. You're getting inheritance tax. Then you have to sell your home for care fees. Well, hang on a minute. That already happened, okay? That's been going on for bloody years and years, 20 years maybe, because it happened to my mum. 60 grand and they took the full lot. And so that's our problems. What are they doing for us? Nothing. Nothing. If you want to take your mind off something and be a distraction, you can turn on Netflix or watch a film on YouTube. You don't need to watch these. And yes, I'm only reading because I have to, because this is primarily a bloody royal channel. However, I am doing more things, so don't worry. But, you know, let them get on with it. We can't change anything, and we can't do anything about it. So getting all upset and, you know, out of breath about it all, some of us, it's just one of them. Let them crack on. They deserve everything they get. Is that true? Thank God for that. Thank God for that. Absolutely. Don't lose sleep over them. You know, they're all out for themselves. And, you know, like I said, yeah, people all say about William. But William as well worries me because, A, he hasn't done anything. They say he can't, but he could. He could leak what he likes. But this thing about not going to church and this not moving into Buckingham Palace, I mean, you know, it's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. So hang on a minute, William. You can take on the role to be king because it's in you and you've been trained for this. What? But you can't live in Buckingham Palace. You can't sacrifice yourself for Buckingham Palace where you should be. You know, you can't go to church because you don't want to, or you know. I mean, it's either the other way or an atheist. It doesn't matter, you know. If you can't do those two bloody things, then what good are they going to do for us or their monarchy? So, yeah, let them get on with it. All right, I want to know. Tell me what Clive Alderton knows about King Charles that could land him in trouble with the police. Someone who died. Yeah, someone not alive, someone who died. They got himself into a situation and he couldn't get out of. Couldn't stop, couldn't go back, couldn't rectify it. Tell me something else Clive Alderton knows about King Charles. Him and Camilla have a lot of rows. I almost feel like, you know, maybe it's true about briefing against William. I might come back to that. I've got competing interests. What does Clive Alderton know about the king practicing another religion? That this will come out into the future, and it's recent stuff, this as well. It's recent stuff. So again, you know, Clive Alderton has actually gone because he quit while the good is going, okay, while he can't be brought in or dragged into anything or be accused. This is the way things are going forward, and it's not going to go well at all. And Charles is absolutely kidding himself if he thinks he can get away with things or, you know, yeah, stave off their trouble. Does Clive Alderton believe that, you know, things are going to get very, very difficult for King Charles? Oh, yes. Do you know what? I can actually see someone suing King Charles. Now, wouldn't that be great? Is somebody going to try and sue King Charles? Oh, yes. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Yeah, someone who works for him as well. Or did work for him. I think I know what this is. But it's in the next reading. How does William feel about Clive Alderton going? He knows where the dead bodies are. He might literally know that. So, you know, it seems so William does know stuff, unfortunately. And he's grateful that Clive Alderton will never share their true reasons for going. Or indeed, you know, he has knowledge of Charles and the royal family, the rest of them, and the Queen. So I think he's hoping that nothing comes out. What is William most afraid of that would be revealed about King Charles right now? Well, you've got your in and out, half in, half out. That's Harry, that. But I don't believe it is that. We've got something going on 2 years ago as well. I'm getting a partnership as more than one account. So this is a version of events as well. And that the king is, you know, probably not as dutiful as we would hope or expect. That he's there to show power. I'm getting finances. Is it finances that William's worried about with the king? Oh yeah, they're still trying to find a way out of it. It's like it's past being upset. Now it's like trying to deal with things. Yeah, you got cover up here. You got the king gonna be sued. Lovely, lovely. People say, oh no, he can't be sued. He's the king. He can't be prosecuted either. He can't be this. He can't be that. Some things are right. Some things are right, but you can still, you know, have an investigation with the police and not telling the truth. How did the investigation team feel about King Charles in the police? Lack of interest due to no immediate success, no longer of use. So Charlie Boy's no longer of use. Maybe they don't have to protect him anymore. Maybe that's how they feel. And it's like, I think police officers in the past have tried to bring up things and nobody wanted to know. Well, we don't live in that world anymore, okay? Cover-ups end up being revealed. Are the police investigating King Charles right now? Oh, you caused it, you caused it, you caused it. Loss. That means either they're making things go away or it's as if the police had something and then have done away with it, you know, because no one was really interested. And when I say interested, they just go, oh, park it, park it. I think this is to do with money from King Charles's past. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Something that they thought had ended and it's not. Is there going to be a review of this? Yes, something in writing, not seen. And we're also going to start hearing about it as well. So I'm not sure. I've got two things, okay. I've got a person that'll do on the next reading. And I've got finances as well. Now, it's as if, you know, has the king requested the police look into something? It's going to be a lot of drama, okay? There's going to be a lot of drama, especially online. But King Charles isn't the victim, he's a perpetrator of this, he's responsible as well. What will a legal investigation show about King Charles? Two things, feeling far away from others, so he wasn't there at the time when this went on. And also, though, I think King Charles has said, don't do this, you know, don't do this. So did King Charles instruct the police not to do something? Absolutely, absolutely. Oh my God, it's going to come out. It's going to come out. Well, I'm not bothered about him anyway. I think he's a charlatan. And that picture with all the red, well, that's a devil in it. His mother would never have allowed that, you know. I don't know, you know, I'm losing all faith in people. We're all doing this, you know. We're all waking up thinking, is the world real? Is the world just a big fat lie after lie? Well, if you're feeling like that, that's absolutely normal, because that means you're waking up. You know, you're coming to your senses, you're coming to a reality that's not very, you would never have believed these things could happen 20 years ago, 50 years ago. but the world's very much different, and there is hope for the future. There is. I was asking last night, I was talking to the universe, and you know, I'll do a reading in a day or two. It's not easy, but we are going to be okay in the end. Okay, outcome for Charles, please. Yeah, I'm getting being up that way, something about a trip as well, where he was. Well, we know he always went for cash and money and stuff like that, but maybe there's something else as well. So I'm getting short visits here. Oh, do you know what? I bet when the going gets hot, he ends up having to go to hospital. Unwell. Oh, he's cancer. Unwell. I'm not mocking cancer patients at all. I'm mocking him because everything is about convenience. Let's have a look. What is the Muppet scared of? What is King Charles scared of? Someone turning down a job. Someone turning down a job. Somebody dropping out. Yeah, somebody dropping you in it, Charles. That's what it is. Will Clive Alderton tell the truth to the police if they ever investigate? You can't use any sickness to get out of a police interview, can you? They don't care. I don't know. I think this is money. And I think if he was interview with the police, this guy is burdened with knowledge. That he advised the king to do things differently, and instead, you know, makes himself out to be a victim. And that's not Clive, that's the king. Okay, so how will this appear to us? Through a woman that you'd maybe want to call an attention seeker. You know, this isn't this isn't Meghan or anybody. So a woman who's... Is that Diana? No. Do not act appearance. Not here. No beginning. So we never knew about this person. Is this someone who was sexual with the king? Oh, Jesus Christ. Being caught out, fear of being named, admit your mistakes, okay? Did Charles' father an illegitimate son? Oh, someone's going to be angry. Someone's going to be angry. Someone's going to bring it up and all. Well, we all know what I feel. Let's have a look there. What will this woman say? What will she tell? I've got two women here. One's, you know, not going to let things go. And this one, well, she's going to be accused of being an attention seeker and selfish, you know. Why would you come out and do that now? Oh, Charles has got cancer. Oh, bollocks to him. I'm not even... Does he have cancer? No celebrations, delayed, postponed. So maybe it's in remission. Two women. Will these two women be responsible for making King Charles's life a misery over the next few months and years? Absolutely. And Charlie Boy cannot, control them neither. So I'm really happy about that, because I don't think the King has done an in-service. What is it? Not an in-service. He hasn't done his job for us. He hasn't come out. He's, practically sleeping with these prime ministers and enemies we've got. Loving the M word and all these fancy buildings. Yet, he's got nothing for the sleepless nights that we're going through. Honestly, he's just a chocolate bloody king. And that's all he is. He's not a king. He's not my king. He's not your king neither. And if you did like him, you're not going to like him after the next one. And I've already told you before, Diana was indeed taken off this planet intentionally. And it might not be in his order, and it might not be in his hand, but it was certainly because of him. Okay, guys, fire back. Let me know what you think in their comments, okay? I would love to know your thoughts on this. It seems, Clive Alderton won't be taking too much, or discussing things. I mean, if he writes a book, it'll not be the truth, that's for sure. But Clive is a decent guy. He's honourable, and he's stepping away. And he knows that the shit's about to hit the storm. Okay, guys, that's it for now. Bye now. Bye-bye.